Welcome to the Fun Facts Club. Today we will be discussing some fun facts about coffee. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more daily fun facts, and give the video a thumbs up if you learned something new. Thank you. Some officers at the Central Intelligence Agency call it stealthy Starbucks, but employees at the Langley, Virginia location definitely aren't your typical Starbucks employees. For one, they must undergo extensive background checks, and they cannot leave their post without a CIA escort. On the positive side, they don't have to write down or shout out their customers' names. Though it was hardly what one might describe as action-packed, it allowed researchers at Cambridge to monitor the coffee situation in the Trojan room without ever leaving their desks. After the webcam portion of the Trojan room coffee pot experiment was pulled, the pot itself, a non-working Krups Pro Aroma pot that would normally retail for about $50, was put up for auction on eBay, where it sold for just under $5,000. Kopi Luwak, the world's most expensive coffee, earns its pricey distinction thanks to a surprising step in its production, digestion. In Indonesia, a wild animal known as the Asian palm civet, a small critter similar to the weasel, cannot resist the bright red coffee cherries that abound, even though they can't digest the actual coffee beans. The beans pass through the civet's systems without being fully digested, at which point, some brave coffee farmer collects the beans from the civet's droppings, hopefully, thoroughly washes them, and sells them for up to $600 per pound. Maybe it's a coincidence, but the Guinness World Record holder for oldest cat ever, a 38-year-old kitty named Cream Puff, drank coffee every morning of her furry little life, plus enjoying bacon, eggs, and broccoli. Before you dismiss that outright, consider this. The cat that Cream Puff beat out for the record, a 34-year-old cat, appropriately named Grandpa Rex Allen, had the same owner, and was fed the exact same diet. As recently as the 18th century, governments were trying to eradicate coffee. Among the many reasons for outlawing the beverage were its tendency to stimulate radical thinking. In 1746, Sweden took things to an extreme when it banned both coffee and coffee paraphernalia, i.e. cups and saucers. Instant coffee has been around for a while, making its first appearance in England in 1771. But it would take another 139 years for the first mass-produced instant coffee to be introduced and patented in the US in 1910. Sipping may be your preferred method of Java consumption, but coffee has not always been a liquid treat. According to a number of historians, the first African tribes to consume coffee did so by grinding the berries together, adding in some animal fat, and rolling these caffeinated treats into tiny edible energy balls. Studies have shown that patients with higher levels of caffeine in their blood were less likely to contract Alzheimer's disease. They also found that coffee had positive results on type 2 diabetes patients, and even protected women from skin cancer. Who knew? In Ethiopia, circa 800 AD, a shepherd first sampled the fruit that would lead to coffee when he noticed his goats looked as if they were dancing after eating from the same bush. After trying the berry for himself, the shepherd had a similar reaction. Yes, he danced. Shortly thereafter, monks got a hold of the berries and noticed it kept them alert throughout the night. They eventually mixed the berries with animal fat and made small power bites out them. Coffee beans are not actually beans. They are pits from a cherry-like berry that grows on a bush. The bean is the seed or pit, which can be found at the center of the fruit and is roasted to make the coffee we so enjoy. Next time someone tells you to eat more fruits, simply say you already had one for the day.